All right, good morning, viewers. So, third diagnostic of the day. Customer's complaint is all the warning lights are on the dash. No check engine light though. No check engine light. Because usually, I like to take my guess. Check engine lights on. Is it going to be a head gasket or is it going to be fuel injectors? If there's no check engine light and it's got all these warning lights, is it going to be that multi-purpose camera, or ABS codes for wheel speed sensor, and of course. It's the left rear wheel speed sensor, which is very common on these 5th generation Honda CRVs. Lift the car up and do a visual inspection to see if the harness is okay, but usually it's that ABS sensor on that left rear. It also does it on the right rear too. I had a bunch of other codes for like differential overheat code and then vehicle spin detected under your all-wheel drive, but it's because of this left rear wheel speed sensor. Yeah, what you also might notice is that when you press the start-stop button to shut the car off, it'll tell you to press it twice to shut it off. It'll give you this message. So it won't let you shut it off unless you press it twice because it thinks your car is still moving, right? So it won't let you shut it off unless you press it twice. You accidentally push the button while you're driving, it makes you press it twice. So it's, it's like a two-step authentication, So... yeah, basically this thing will need a left rear wheel speed sensor. Just gonna put the car on the hoist. It's just a double check. It'll set all these warning lights. So anyways, let's take a look and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Underneath, there's nothing really to look underneath here. So it's this harness, right? It goes up into there. It goes to the ABS sensor, which is, I believe, it's part of the harness, and then it goes and connects it up to the parking brake. So yeah, let me show you. Where's that sensor? It's right on top. Shouldn't get it in there. See? ABS sensor, part of the harness, parking brake cable, parking brake harness. I don't know why they can't just give you a connector right at the sensor so you don't have to replace the whole entire harness. So you just gotta, fish it out through that hole. Goes all the way here. You might notice it's pretty rusty for a, how old is this car? It's a 9-year-old car, right? And then there's a connector right here. So that's where it connects to. So yeah, anyways, what I'm gonna do, bring you guys back, and then I'm going to replace this harness and then just confirm our repair, and that's basically it. All right, so we are back. Took some time because the parts department ordered the left front instead of the left rear. Got the packaging. I was like, kind of light here because the back one is also part of the electronic parking brake harness. I'll show you once I get the wheel off. Yeah, we got the right part now. It's near the end of the day already. So, let's get this thing replaced. Come on. I'll grab myself a light. Let's light this area up so you guys can see. How am I gonna do this? Something to, that'll work. So, as you can see, it's part of the electronic parking brake harness. So we just gotta disconnect this guy. All right, there's gonna be a bracket there. Hopefully this wheel speed sensor will come out. I'm gonna blow away all the junk. That way nothing falls in the hole. Seems good. Get the sensor out. Hopefully it'll just come right out. Is it gonna move? Of course not. See, it'll come out. Work with me here. Ooh, whole thing's flexing. Come on. Work with me. Ooh, this is not going to be good. It's aluminum, so, you know, aluminum corrodes. And it's going to get stuck. Yeah. Might have to drill this thing out. The outer sleeve is already separating. Yeah. Okay, let me just work this thing out. Or maybe I just broke it. Let's see. Can't see. Did I break it? Yeah, I broke it. Of course. Now we're gonna have to see if we can get the rest of it out, because it's in there. Pull this thing out. See? Sensor's still stuck in there. It's really in there, eh? Nope, did not come out. I might have to cut and drill. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut and drill. What? Let's just get this thing out of the way. Okay, so I'm drilling it out. I'm just gonna go a little bit at a time so that way the junk doesn't fall in. All right. And then I can't go down too far, because if I nick the bearing, or I guess the tone ring underneath, then I'm gonna need a new bearing. And we don't want that. So I have the taped off on the drill bit, so I know how far to go. And then while this stuff is all the plastic comes out, just gonna blow it away. It's a pretty long sensor, so you're not gonna get it out. Getting close. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm just drilling it. Try to get as much of that stuff out without that stuff falling in. Let's see. No. Still haven't hit bottom yet. All right. So, just to prove to you, as long as you have patience of a saint, you can get the whole entire ABS sensor out without drilling it completely through, right? And falling inside. So, basically, I drilled it to a point. Right, kind of get your drill bit, measure the new sensor and see how far where it gets to this point, right? Drill up to that point until the wall is very thin. Grab yourself one of these like picks, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go inside, you're gonna try and hook it on the inside and then try to pull it out. And then that's how you get it out. And I go make fun of my friend or my coworker beside me, because he told me like, oh, you gotta pull the bearing out, but nope. Patience, and this is what patience gets you. You got it out. Anyways, I'm gonna pull the rest of the harness out, and then we'll replace the sensor. Let's get the rest of this out. That connector. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Unplugged. get the rest of this out. That's that guy. There you go. Okay, so here's the new sensor harness. I'm gonna fish this through. That's gonna go there. It's gonna go up into here. Make sure I plug it in. Oh, it's gotta go behind the brake line. Clip in it there. This harness is going to go like that. This one's going to go up to there. That one goes there. And click it back in. Oh, I guess it doesn't come with a bracket. You gotta take it off the old one. They give you every other bracket, but they don't give you this one. Come on, come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. There we go. Okay, let's get that bracket on here. Oh shoot. Get that bracket in. I'm gonna get a wire brush and kind of just pull up and get all the rest of the corrosion out of there. You probably see me use this to clean like oil pan, you know, the silicone and stuff. But I just do pull that up. You see all that junk come out? See all the dust? See where you go in now. Nicely low. Oh, nope. Getting there though. Getting there. I think this video is going to be kind of long if you guys just keep watching me try to clean this hole. But it is what it is. I'll cut everything out for you guys. I don't know. Maybe I'll get you, once I get this hole cleaned up, I'll get you straight to you know, inside the car, and then, because usually when you turn a key right on, it sets all the warning lights right away, even though you clear the codes. Just starting up the scanner here, clear all the codes. And yeah, wheel speed sensor Alexa figure is too high, left wheel speed sensor, differential fluid overheat. Even though the car sat outside for the entire day, it still set that code. So let's clear DTCs. Yes. There we go. Oh, it's all gone. Just Cycle the key. System select. Special functions. All sensor learn. Viewers to continue. Okay. Calibrating is in progress. Successful. Turn ignition off. Turn ignition on. I'll go for a test drive. Maybe it just needs to see wheel speed. And then come back. Okay, so warning lights are all gone on the dash now. I guess I didn't drive it long enough. I don't know. It's one of these weird things where, like, this is a 17 CRV. It's like these weird glitches, and because everything's all electronic modules now, where I guess the integrated driving support is behind on relearning compared to like your ABS and all that kind of stuff. So it took a little longer for it to realize that there's nothing wrong, because those 3 codes were just generic codes thinking, hey, there's an issue in the electronic power steering or the VSA because of the wheel speed sensor, but the wheel speed sensor's code's gone and it doesn't have an issue anymore, but it's still stuck in the integrated driving support. See, now I still see even the EPS right now, it still thinks that the VSA system is still malfunctioning, where I have no codes in the ABS anymore. So yeah, you just need to drive it a little longer. You know what I mean? So let's see if I can clear this code. Now it doesn't take two presses to shut the car off now, like before, because you know, yeah, one press to shut the car off. So I'm just gonna clear the DTC, see if that EPS code still comes back, because it still thinks that the VSA still has an issue, which now it's gone. Right? But yeah, anyways, this is the things with like new cars nowadays, like safety system and stuff. It's weird. Sometimes you get kind of like an off year. Like we had a Honda Accord hybrid. It was a 2016, I think. I can't remember what it was, but the camera, the integrated driving support for, you know, the camera on the windshield failed on it because they overheat and all that kind of stuff. And then we put a new one by the VIN, right? Went with by the VIN, and you couldn't aim it. It won't allow you to. So what it ended up being was we ended up using a Honda Accord 2016 V6, right? And then we aimed the new camera with another Honda Accord with the V6 in it, stuck it into the hybrid Accord, and then it was all good. It was like it would not aim, and then it would set all the warning lights on the dash like how you usually do. But yeah, it's yeah, these are the kind of things that you got to figure out. This is how I guess a lot of you bring it to a shop and then they can't figure it out, and then bring it to the dealership, and then we got to figure out, and then we do get weird stuff. It's just how it is, right? You just got to figure it out why. So this is kind of one of the things. So everything's all out now. Wheel speed fixed. It also did not set the code for the all-wheel drive overheat code, which is also probably due to the wheel speed sensor. So all this is just for one wheel speed sensor. I mean, yeah. So it happens. Doesn't always happen on the same way that this one does, but you know, sometimes a lot of times it's just you brace the sensor, you do the all sensor learn, you drive it, and then it goes out. But some of these are kind of, you know, weird. Yeah, other than that, I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.